It's always good. Welcome to David's World of Ministries. Today I'm in the process of packing because I'll be moving location pretty soon, and which I'm on my bus, but I got all my stuff on the bus that I normally take. So when I get back home, I'll be right now. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. Indianapolis, Indiana. So when I get home, all I gotta do is go to my new location, and that'll be that. I finished this earlier today, and about Jesus praying for a little girl, and that to me that's pretty. So but today, well noon today, it was supposed to be at noontime, but they moved me back some, and but it says God fills, excuse me, God fills men and women with joy when their children grow to love the Lord. When the children grow to love the Lord. And it's always good for the little children to grow to love the Lord. And that's what I stress to people at my church every single time I'm there to preach, which I ain't gonna be there this coming Sunday because we'll be on the road. But I do got an assistant pastor that does the preaching when I'm gone. But I stress to people the importance of their children to grow to love the Lord. To grow to love the Lord. Yeah, I had just finished that background today, and I said, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it back there. And my camera's kind of wacky, but but I'll tell my church members at my church the importance of children growing to love the Lord. I mean, to me, that's real important for a child to know the love of the Lord. And today we're gonna read a few chapters and verses that contains to that. And and then let's see here in our Bible today we're gonna be in the book of Matthew, 22nd chapter. Matthew 27, chapter 37 to the 40th verse is where we're gonna be in today in our Bible. Let's see here in Matthew. I got a cousin named Matthew. How about that? Let's see. Matthew. What did I just say? Matthew 24, I think. No, Matthew 22, 37 to 40. No, 22, 37 to 40. On this page. Just a little bit. That's cool. All right, so I'm normally supposed to start at 12, but they moved back a little bit, so I'm starting around 1 something. And so how y'all doing today? And Now you gonna talk nasty, I'm gonna take you off the stream. I'm not gonna play with you today. I'm not gonna play with you today. In fact, I think I will take you off because I don't trust you. Oops. Let's see here. There that goes. How you doing, worshiper? How you doing, weird? Weird. But like I said, we're gonna be in this for her. God fills men with joy, men and women with joy when the children of God grow, when the children grows to love the Lord. And we're gonna read the first one out of the book of Proverbs, 18th chapter, 17th and the 21st verse. It says, I love those who love me, and those who seek me find me, bestowing a rich inheritance on those who love me and making their treasures full. Now we're gonna go and read about it in the book of Ephesians, 3rd chapter, 17th to the 19th verse. It says, Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the Lord's holy people to grasp how wide and long and high and deep it is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fulfillment of God. We'll go to the book of Matthew, 5th chapter, 13th to the 16th verse. It says, You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand. It gives light to everyone in the house time before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. In the book of John, 15th chapter 9 to the 12th verse, it says, As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remained in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. And we're supposed to love each other. And that's what it says in the Bible, that we're supposed to love each other. Well, and in the book of Mark 12, chapter 30th to the 31st verse, it says, Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbors as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. And then the book of Joshua, 22nd chapter and 5th verse, it says, "But be very careful to keep the commandments and the law that Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave you, to love the Lord your God, to walk in obedience to him, to keep his commands, to hold fast to him, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul." Now we're gonna look in the Bible, and we're gonna read Matthew 22nd chapter, 37 to the 40th verse. And and it says, "Well, I heard that Jesus said to him, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." You got to love the Lord with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. Because you know the Lord loves you too. And this is the first and great commandment, and the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. You know, that was hard for me to do at one time. It was. I've been mistreated so badly. It's hard for me to love my neighbor. But you know, it says in the Bible that you must love your neighbor. That's one of the commandments. You must love your neighbor. And you must love your neighbor in order to make it to heaven. You got to love your neighbor. You don't have to like your neighbor. You don't have to have anything to do with your neighbor, but you just gotta love them. You gotta love your neighbor as yourself. You gotta love your neighbor as yourself. That's the main important thing. You gotta love your neighbor as yourself. And that was hard for me to do. It was real hard for me to do. But I overcome it, and I know everybody else can. If I could overcome something, I know everybody else can. I overcame it with the Lord's help, and I know anybody else is having that problem could overcome it with the Lord's help. All you gotta do is ask the Lord to help you overcome the situation that you're in, overcome the situation that you continue to be in. And just like me, I'm handicapped right now. All right? I'm in a wheelchair. All right? And the man I was staying with, he's very abusive. He cleaned up and down, and he'll help me out. He'll do stuff for me. Then when he gets me to where he's going, no, none of that stuff happens. And then when I get ready to go down the ramp that he built, I ramped that he built so I could get down into my chair. And he acts like he's in so much of a hurry. He just pushes me down, and I wound up hurting my other leg. That's the reason why I'm going to a different place to get away from him. He says he loves the Lord, but yet he does what the devil wants. He does what the devil tells him to do. He's just sitting there listening to the devil, and all the devil's going to do is get him in trouble. That's something I don't want to get in trouble with the Lord. I'm trying to do right by the Lord. I'm trying to do right because I want to be something. I want to be up there in heaven. I want to be up there singing with the choir, be up there with the angels, and be up there with your loved ones to have passed on. You know it. I'm about the only one left in my family. My mama's gone. My daddy been gone since I was a baby. My grandma's gone. My grandpa's gone. My aunt's gone. My uncle's gone. My cousin's gone. But me, I'm the only one in my immediate family that's alive. And though I may not have been perfect and don't want to be perfect, I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's when you can overcome your mistakes. And Jesus makes it possible for you to overcome your mistakes. He makes it possible. And I made a doozy of mistakes in my lifetime. I mean, tell you, I wasn't a saint when I was coming up. I wasn't a saint. I had my problems, but you know the main important problem I had when I was growing up was drugs. Getting in with the wrong crowd, and then I first thing you know, I get on drugs. And then when my mother found out about it, she had a tolerance of no drugs in the house, which I think is a very good idea. But at the time, she said, you know what? If you're gonna be on drugs, you can't be in my house. She was trying to teach me a lesson. She was. So she didn't want to do this. She loved me. She loved me to the ends of the earth. But when I was on drugs, I couldn't be there. I stayed on the street, slept day and night on the street. Every time somebody would throw a half-eaten hamburger down on the concrete, I was sitting there eating it because I was hungry. Didn't have no money, and when it rained, I reckon I just stayed in a cardboard box. Still got wet, but then my pastor, he seen me on the street. He came over. He said, "Brother David, why you on the street? Why ain't you just living at home?" I said, "Cause I'm an idiot. Cause I'm stupid." He said, "Brother, you ain't stupid. What's the matter?" I said, "Well, I got into the wrong crowd, and I got on drugs. I got on heroin." He said, "Well, that don't make you stupid. It don't make you smart either, but it don't make you stupid." I said, "Yeah, that helps my feelings a lot. Don't make me smart, huh?" But he said, "I tell you what I'm gonna do for you. If you really want to get off of these drugs, I'm gonna send you to rehab. And more than likely you have to stay in there for 60 days." That's what it was in Georgia. You had to stay in there for 60 days. And I said, "Yeah, I want to get off. I want to go home. I want to go and eat some good food. I want to sleep in a dry bed and take a shower, and I slept in a dry bed all right. It was at the rehab, but at least I had a roof over my head. I had food in my belly. Maybe not the kind of food I wanted, but it's food. And at least I had dry clothes to wear. I didn't like rehab. I didn't. Especially when I was going through the withdrawals. Man, I didn't. Oh, Lord, have mercy. But I went through it with the Lord's help. I knew the Lord had something to do with it. And he, and the pastor came up after 60 days. He said, "You ready to go home?" I said, "Yeah, Mama let me go back home." Well, she's here with me. She wants to give you a hug for achieving something that most people back out of doing, but you achieved it. She came over and she gave me a big old hug, and I said, "Mom, I'm sorry for hurting you by being on drugs." And that was the last word I heard. I was able to say to her. And the next day she passed away. And I blame myself for it because if I would have been there for her, maybe she could have lived a little longer. But it's up to the Lord as when you go home or not. She's laying there in the bed that night, and she said she wasn't feeling good. I had my arms up underneath her head and over her, just talking to her and easing her mind a little bit. And I stayed in there all night. The next morning, I fell asleep, just sitting there with my arms up under her head, and I woke up. I said, "Mom, time to get up. You want to eat?" She didn't budge. So I checked her pulse because I worked for the EMTs at the time, and she didn't have a pulse. I said, "Damn, she's dead." I said, "Let me call the morgue and have them come and get her." But they came and got her and took her, and I was out in my backyard, and at the time I was under so much stress and tension because I blamed myself for her passing. It got to the point where I was getting ready to end my life. And my cousin, he was a sheriff over in Georgia, and he was going to come by and check on me. And he said he knocked at the front door and nobody answered, so he decided to walk around to the backyard. And he drawed his weapon at me and told me to drop my gun. Because she was everything I had, and I didn't feel like I had anybody else. 'Cause my daddy was already dead and gone. He'd been dead for over 20 something years. And Because at the time when she passed away, well, actually it was about 30 something years. Because at the time when she passed away, I was 35. So he been dead for about 34 years. And because I was about a year old when my daddy passed away. And so David Moore, my cousin David, he finally got, excuse me, he finally got me to drop my weapon. And he didn't arrest me or anything. He said he ain't gonna arrest me, but he's gonna try to get me some help. And so I had to go to the psychiatrist for a while, and they got me on some kind of medicine. And they said if I feel like I'm gonna do suicide or kill myself or whatever, they give them a call. They'll come and get me and put me in suicide watch for a while. But that ain't occurred to me anymore. My mother died of lung cancer. She had lung cancer and plus she had pneumonia. And which I blame my mother. No, I ain't blame my mother, but I blame myself for my mother's passing because of the things I did when she was alive. And it's all right, bud. Eh, I think about her every day, really, because uh, she's just on my mind every day. Because when she was alive, she used to do online ministry. She used to do online ministry, and she loved the Lord. And you can't go nowhere in the house without seeing her with a Bible in her hand. It didn't matter if she was going somewhere. She had a Bible in her hand, and she told me that about a couple years before she died that if I die, I want you to cremate me. I said, okay. I'm gonna do what you asked to do. I mean, it's your body, and she said because it'll be cheaper on you. I want you to have some money on you. I said, all right. And get this, she had like a $50,000 insurance policy. So yeah, I had some money on me, all right, but it only cost $1,800 to cremate her. And she's sitting over there on my nightstand over there at the house. And plus, I got some of her ashes in a little urn that I keep with me at all times. And and every time I do a Bible study, I have her urn sitting right there up beside the camel. Cause I feel like whenever I do a Bible study and I put the urn by her, she's sitting there watching me. Yeah, cremation is cheaper. It is cheaper. I mean, you bury somebody, it's gonna cost you about $10,000, $15,000 to bury somebody. But cremation, it over in Georgia is $1,800, but in different states it might be a little cheaper, it might be a little bit more. But but I I feel like she's watching me every time I do a Bible study, every time that I do a stream. It don't matter if I do a Facebook Live, it don't matter if I do a YouTube stream. I always have her right there. And I got it's a little small miniature golden urn. It's made of solid gold, and it's got her name written on it. So I took a little bit of them ashes out of the box because when they cremate you, they put ashes in the box. Then when you buy the urn, then you put ashes in the urn and all that stuff, and close it up. But I lived in Georgia at the time, and we lived in Georgia for about 23 years. And I mean, other than me getting into the bad crowd when I turned 16, and I've had a pretty good childhood life because you know me, I had never got a chance to get out and meet new people. I never got a chance to go out and meet people or meet other kids when I was a little kid. Because when I was a baby, I was a sickly baby. I was a sickly baby. I was in and out of hospital, in and out, in and out. Mama had to homeschool me. Uh, because I have it's a generic, because my daddy had it too, and it's generic, but it's a bone disease where when I was born, my heel was right where my toes is at. My toes were where my heel was supposed to be at. And I live in Alabama right now. I live in Alabama. Um, but my favorite football team, college football, is Auburn University. But they got Alabama football team too. I don't really care for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I don't really care for them. But I've been all over this world about 15 times in my life. I lived in Alaska. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I lived in Anchorage, Alaska. Um, I lived in Japan. I lived in China. I lived in Spain. I lived in Germany. And me, I don't know how to speak their language, but I still live there. Um, I lived in Mexico a few times. Um, I lived in Turkey. And one place I won't never live again is Pakistan. Crimson Tide. I ain't too crazy about Crimson Tide. I like Auburn. Auburn University. I've always been an Auburn fan. I've been an Auburn fan, and I've been a Georgia Bulldog fan. And let's see what else I've been. I think that's the only two I've been. Now, I've been an Atlanta Braves fan. And basketball, I've been a Chicago Bulls fan. I remember that one game I went to when I was a teenager growing up. I went to the Chicago Bulls game. We went to Chicago, Illinois, and went to the Chicago Bulls game. Boo roll, boo roll, tide roll. Yeah, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah. Boo, boo. Oh Lord, just think of that coach ever heard about that. They got a new coach over in Alabama too. Yeah, they fired the other coach. Yeah, he wasn't doing nothing. He was just sitting in his office and just losing. You know, you know, Alabama used to beat Auburn all the time. Shoot, Auburn's been beating Alabama here lately. Yeah, yeah, I like Auburn. War Eagle, War Eagle. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. War Eagle. Roll Tide, big. War Eagle, yeah. All right, gonna get me a dip then. You want some dip, man? You got some? Ah, yeah. I might be a minister with the Lord, but I also dip too. I mean, my pastor, he's the one that got me started on dipping, and I said, and pastors not supposed to dip? Oh well, I dip. I ain't gonna tell anybody I do it. It don't matter to me. People gonna see me dipping anyway. They're gonna see that big old bulge in my lip. No more. Yeah, Stephen. Yeah, no more of him. Thank the good Lord. I ain't like that dude. I ain't hate him, but I ain't like him. Who's the new coach there? You know who the new coach is? You know, I don't even know who the coach is for Auburn. And I watch Auburn football. Maybe I don't pay attention. Maybe I don't. Let's see, I don't get me a dip because I'm done with my own Bible study. I'm just sitting here talking. I ain't got nothing else to do. You don't even know who the new coach is. Or she don't. He or she'll be a boo boo. I don't even know who the coach is for Auburn. And I sit and watch Auburn football all the time. Every time it comes on, I watch it. Um, who won the World Series today in baseball? Who won the World Series? Your girl? Oh, I'm sorry about it. My bad. My disrespect. I didn't mean to disrespect you, young ma'am. My bad. Yeah, my bad. My bad. Hey, it's all me. It's my bad. Bum. Who's a bum? You? You a bum? Good God, Almighty. She said she forget who won. I think if I can remember right, um, one of the Dodgers, or yeah. See, she said Dodgers. Yeah, I figured it was Dodgers. You know the Atlanta Braves is getting bad. They ain't win no championships anymore. Shoot, and I think I heard on news though that Dodgers won. But I ain't get a chance to see the game. But yeah, man. I'm. Uh, oh, I thought I had my sunglasses on. Uh, I think I'm going crazy. You think I'm crazy, ma'am? You think I'm crazy? Am I crazy or am I? Nah, I ain't gonna say nothing like that, man. I ain't that bad. I might aggravate people. I might, but that's just me. Look at her. She said I ain't crazy. I bet you she likes me though. I bet you she does. Well, she's gonna say yeah. She's gonna say yeah. I bet you. But that's all right. Huh? A lot of people like me. Yeah, that's what I told you. She said yes. I told you she's gonna say it. Where do you live at? Where do you live at, ma'am? You live in Alabama? Detroit, Michigan. And I was there last week too. God knows almighty. Detroit, Michigan. That's one of my stops. I'm on a world tour. Right now I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. But I was in Detroit, Michigan last week. Man, won't you come to Alabama? You don't like Alabamians? Soon? Man, she said soon. She must don't like Alabamians. You ain't working? You ain't working and making some money? Got family still down here. Got family still down there? Mm, that's cool. You ain't working today? Off day? Man. Oh, I work some. I can't work a whole lot because I'm a retired military man, and when I was over in Vietnam, I stepped on a bomb. It blowed up on me, of course, and I lost my foot. And yeah, I think I could show you my lost foot thing. Well, let's see if I can get my other foot up here. There we go. Oh, don't you go nowhere, Cam. Ah, yeah, there you go. I lost my foot, easy. See, I done lost my foot. Ah, and huh? Landslide? Landslide. No, I stepped on a bomb. I was in Vietnam, and I stepped on a bomb, and it blowed up on me. It blowed up. What happened to it? Alligator. Uh, and alligator didn't get a hold of it. Nah, it's just a big old bomb to blow my foot off. And I was sitting there and bleeding to death till they got me to the med. Then when they got me to the med, they sent me to a civilian hospital. Man, I think sitting like this is a lot better because then my leg don't cramp on me. But then I can't get the hold of my cup. Man, oh boy. I tell you what, being home, you folk gain some weight. I tell you that much. When I was in Vietnam, I weighed about 155, 160 pounds. How old are you in Vietnam? Oh, back when I was in Vietnam, I was with this new war that came out when I was about 25, 26 years old. Whenever this new war started, and then they drafted me. I didn't want to go, but they drafted me. I knew I was going to get killed or yes, slave. You meant me? How you doing, ass? I was I was 26 then. I'm 40. I'm 46 now. And I've been out of the military for about 5 years now. And but I liked it. Even though I didn't want to go, I liked it. I got where I liked it. And uh oh, that's all right. Let it fall. I don't care. I was too young. Well, they drafted me, so I had to go. If they didn't draft me, I wouldn't have went. How you doing for my kids? For my kids. I ain't never thought about that one. No. For my kids. RMC, are you there? You ain't talking no more? I thought today was your off day. For him still down there, Well, where you gotta go to now? About to go where you going? Where are you going? I thought today was your off day. Man, she said she liked me. The store? What you gonna buy at the store? Can't buy nothing at the store now. You gonna buy me some food? Nice meeting you too, honey. You have a blessed day. Come back to my screen now. I like to talk to you. Hello? Hello? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, that's me. Come back to my screen now. I like to talk to you more. No, I don't give any women on here for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't. Bye, honey. Go and buy me some food. All right, so I'm working on cut off till 5 o'clock tonight. 5 o'clock I do my next live or my next streaming. And so y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Remember Jesus loves you, and remember to keep your minds and eyes focused on Jesus Christ. He'll lead you straight to heaven. When we get to his holy gates, he'll reach down and pull you up and bring you to his holy kingdom, and you'll live forever and ever, ever. Amen. And and I'll talk to y'all at 5 o'clock. If things go right, I'll be there at 5 o'clock. Y'all have a blessed day.